Hi guys, here's a little video to help you with lesson 5.2. In 5.1, we learned how to write linear equations from graphs and also from word problems. In 5.2, you have to know how to write a linear equation from a table of values, all right? And that's when you have a group of x values and a group of y values paired together, all right? So again, you're being asked to write a linear equation. As soon as you see that, write a linear equation. Boom, y equals mx plus b, okay? So again, you need to be able to figure out what is my slope m and my y-intercept b, okay? I'm going to start with the y-intercept. That's usually easier to find, all right? So I'm going to put those over here. Our b value, okay, is the number in the y column that is paired with the x value of 0, okay? Because remember, the y-intercept is on the y-axis, so it always has to be 0 something, okay? Since the y-intercept is on the y-axis, it always has to be x is 0, and then whatever this number is your y-intercept. So we can clearly see right here, 18 is a y value, and it's paired with 0. So that is automatically our y-intercept, okay? So now all we got to do is be able to find our slope, and we're good, okay? So slope, as always, is our rise divided by our run, okay? Another way to think about that is how much does y change by? It's our change in y. Another way of saying rise is change in y. Another way of saying run is how much the x value changes by each time, all right? So if we look here at our x value, you should notice a pattern really easily here. These are doing what? Yep, they're going up by 2 each time here. Okay, so that went from 0 to 2. That's an addition of 2, jump of 2, jump of 2. So my x value is jumping by 2 each time. So that is called my change in x, okay? So that was positive 2 because this is increasing by 2 each time. So that's called my change in x. My change in y is found by finding how much is y changing. And it looks like this has a pattern too. Oops, I made an error. That shouldn't be 50. That should have been 58. Okay, so it went from 18 to 28 to 38 to 48 to 58. Hopefully you can see that these are definitely increasing by how much? Yep, definitely increasing by 10. Okay, so that was plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, plus 10. So this is called my change in y. So my y values are increasing by 10, okay? And now to find our slope, we just divide our change in y divided by our change in x. That's our rise divided by our run. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Okay, so now we have our y-intercept is 18 and my slope is 5. We can now put the equation together. It would be y equals... Okay, my m goes here, that's my slope, it came out to be 5, and my y-intercept was 18. Okay, I always like to check this just by picking one of the points in the table to see if it makes sense here. So I'm going to pick one of these x's here, all right? I'm going to ask my videographer to pick one of these numbers here. Which one do you want to pick?
4.
Okay, so when I plug 4 in for x into this equation, it better end up paired with 38, because that's what it says. When x is 4, y is 38. So I'm going to plug in my videographer said to pick 4 for x. I'm going to take this 4, plug it in, and it better come out to be 38 for y. Okay, so 5 times 4 is 20, plus 18, and 20 plus 18 is definitely 38, so it definitely checks out, all right? And when you plug in 6, it should come out to be 48, okay? Here's another one to look at here, all right? So I'm going to go through this a little quicker this time. As soon as you're asked to write a linear equation, start with that, always, all right? Look for your pattern here. Oh, I'm jumping ahead of myself here. Let's start with our b value here. Notice there's that 0 again, right? So who's 0 paired with? 0 is paired with 45, so that's our y-intercept. Okay, now we got to find our slope. It's always a ratio, change in y divided by change in x, all right? So it looks like this time my x values are doing what? Yep, they're decreasing by 3 each time. Okay, these are going down by 3. What's happening to my y's? Okay, yep, there's a pattern again. Looks like these are jumping up by 6. Okay, so this is called my change in x. This is called my change in y here. So we're going to make that into a ratio now. It looks like y is increasing by 6 as x decreases by 3. You divide these, you got your slope. Positive divided by a negative, 6 divided by negative 3 is negative 2, and then you just make your equation. Okay, so my m is negative 2, and my y-intercept is 45. Okay, so you got your equation here. Okay, last one here, all right, because this one's going to be just a little bit trickier here, all right? So we're going to, again, make a linear equation out of this. So we start with y equals mx plus b, okay? Now, in the first two, we saw zeros in the top row for x, right? So how do we find our y-intercept if there's no 0 here? Well, if you look here, it goes 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Linear patterns go on forever, so the next one would be 14, right? And the next one going here would be if these are jumping by 50. So this goes on forever in this direction. They also go on forever in this direction here. So it goes 12, 10, 8, 6, 4. If we kept jumping this way, wouldn't we hit 0? Yeah, we sure would. It would take how many more jumps here? So if we go back from 4, it would be 2, and then back to 0 here, all right? So we'd also have to do the same thing with our y. These are going down by 50 as we go this way. It's going up by 50 as we go this way here, all right? So we got to figure out who is 0 paired with to find our y-intercept here. I'm going to add a little column here. So we had to find, because 0 would be somewhere over here. So it goes 12, 10, 8, 6, 4. The next one would be 2, and then the next one would be 0 if that one was 2. So I got 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. These are jumping by 2s. These are going down by 50. So if I go backwards from 50, the next one would be 200. And then 0 would be paired with 150. Okay? Hope that made sense how you get to 0 here. So this is our x and this is our y. So that makes 150 our b value, our y-intercept. Okay? Now we got to find our slope. It's always a ratio again, all right? How much is x going up by? X is going up by 2. That's called our change in x, all right? It looks like y is going up by how much each time? 50? Okay, so that means we divide those to find our slope. Our change in y divided by our change in x. 50 divided by 2 is 25. Okay, and now we can put our equation together, okay? Since our slope is 25, our equation would be y equals 25x plus our y-intercept was 150 because that's the number paired with 0. And voila, we have our linear equation. Hopefully that was helpful.